Welcome to the feature interview here on Emory and Henry Reports. Today, we have Justin Farmer on the set. Justin is a student and also an avid hunter. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What's your favorite hunting season?
My favorite hunting season would be deer, whitetail deer season.
And when is that?
It starts middle October and runs through January, the middle of January.
Okay. And are we in season right now? Are we out of season? Are we getting ready to come to a season?
We're getting ready to come to turkey season. It starts next Saturday.
Okay. And tell me about turkey season. What does that entail? Does that mean you can go out and shoot as many turkeys as you want, wherever you want?
It's actually only spring gobbler, and you can kill 3 gobblers a year, 1 a day. For the first half of the season, you can hunt till 12 o'clock, noon. And then the second half, it's all day.
And what is a gobbler and what is a spring gobbler?
Spring gobbler is just the name of the season, and a gobbler would be the male turkey.
Okay. How do you feel when people say that hunting is inhumane or it's murder? How does that make you feel?
I don't feel that it's inhumane or murder at all. I believe that God put them here for the reason to be eaten, and if I'm going to kill them, that's what I'm going to do, eat them.
Is there certain ways that you go about killing it to make it quicker or more humane or easier?
Oh yeah, you always go about shooting them in the most, vital area, which would be a deer right behind the shoulder, and a turkey headshot.
Okay, understandable. Now you're wearing camouflage today. Talk to me about some of the attire that you would wear when you're out on turkey season.
On turkey season, I'd be wearing a turkey vest, which has pockets for calls and shells and all that good stuff. I'd be wearing a face mask, gloves, full camo head to toe, because turkeys have some of the best eyesight of any animals out there in the woods.
Okay. Now some people think that hunting is just a bunch of guys going out and drinking and going in the woods and just shooting stuff. Take me through an actual hunting experience. Help me understand what hunting is really like.
Hunting is nothing like that. I've never drank before while hunting, and usually I go out by myself. Probably my most memorable is about 2 years ago. I skipped a day from school, went out and sat in the tree stand, and that morning I had the biggest buck I've ever killed come out. I shot it, and that's pretty much how it goes. You go out, you sit, wait, and wait for something to walk by, then shoot it.
Now, you mentioned a tree stand. What are different types of hunting? Is there one when you can just kind of walk around and be loud, or you have to climb a tree and wait? What are the different ways to hunt?
Well, you have still hunting, which is like walking around, glancing every now and then through the binoculars. And then you have tree stand hunting, which is where you sit in the tree stand and just wait for a deer to walk by, which would be on like a trail or a travel place or food source.
Right. That seems kind of requiring a lot of patience. How long do you have to wait? Are you able to move from tree to tree?
No, usually, unless you have other tree stands in the area, you usually just sit in the same spot.
Okay. And where are you allowed to hunt? Are there certain areas? Where do you prefer to hunt?
I prefer to hunt private property, which is, we have a apple orchard farm that's we lease. It's about 800 acres, and that's about my favorite.
Okay. Different hunting requires different types of weapons or tools. Take me through some of the different tools that you use for deer season or for turkey season.
Well, for deer season, they have an archery season, which opens up the first part of October. And then there's the muzzleloader season. And then there's a rifle season and a late muzzleloader. And turkey, most people hunt turkeys with just shotguns.
How difficult is it to go out and be Robin Hood and use a bow and arrow and actually successfully take down an animal?
It can be very difficult because, you have to, bow hunting, you have to have them within probably 50 yards for an ethical clean kill. So, trying to get the deer to come in from, hundreds of yards away and having them walk right to you that's a challenge.
And how are you able to do that? Do you cover yourself with different smells? Do you make sounds? Do you do different dances? How does that work?
Well, you just sit in the tree, and you usually position your tree stand in a place where you've scouted and you know that deer are going to come by. And you can make different sounds. There's grunt calls and bleat calls, just different sounds of the whitetail deer. For turkey, you pretty much go out in the mornings and you listen. You make some turkey calls and listen for a gobbler to gobble. Then you set up on it and try to call it in.
Right. Now, did you grow up hunting? Is it something you've always wanted to do? Is it part of your family?
Oh yeah, I actually started hunting. The first deer I killed was when I was 9. So, and I've been hooked ever since.
Now, do you mount these deers on your wall? Is that something that you traditionally do?
If it's big enough. Some of my biggest bucks I have mounted, and I have a turkey.
And how do you go about deciding whether it's big enough or not? What is the point system that hunters commonly refer to?
Well, I don't usually go by like score. I go by if I'm happy with it, if I want to get it mounted, by just looking at it and I know it's big, and I'll pay the money and get it mounted.
What's a hunter's worst nightmare? What's the worst case scenario you could ever come across when you're out hunting?
Probably the worst case of hunting would be shooting a monster buck and then losing it and not finding it.
Okay, you mean shooting it once and then it being able to get away and you're not able to track it down?
And not know where it went.
And why would that be worst case scenario?
Because I mean they're beautiful animals and it's just, if you're a hunter it hurts to lose one like that.
Right. That's interesting that you bring that out because a lot of people say that hunting is cruel. You're killing for entertainment. Do you eat everything that you kill?
Mostly. I keep a lot of them to eat and I give it to sometimes Hunters for the Hungry. And some people that I know in my community that need it, I give it to them.
And what's your favorite kind of meat to eat?
My favorite wild game would be deer.
Okay, deer or venison.
Venison.
Do you have a least favorite, something that you don't really want to take and consume?
No, not really. I mean, it's all pretty good.
Okay. What's the most interesting, most unique animal you've ever hunted?
Most unique? It'd have to be the turkey. Has to be.
Okay.
'Cause they are so smart. They can see excellent, and they look funny too.
That's funny because you mentioned that they are definitely an ugly creature. When they were created or designed, they weren't really created for aesthetic beauty. All right, one more question. Best case scenario, if you could describe the hunter's fantasy, bring that back to me.
Probably going to Iowa or Illinois, which is like, if you're a deer hunter, that's like the big buck capital of the United States, which would be, I mean, going out there during the middle of the rut, which is the breeding season, would be the white-tailed deer hunter's fantasy.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it, and good luck in the rest of your future gaming.
All right, thank you.
Advanced Video Production class just finished a creative project where students wrote a script, chose a cast, shot, and edited footage. We're going to look at Allison Asbell and her creative project.